This week in the world of the Pokemon TCG, the collector card market is in chaos, and it's not just due to scalpers, as millions of dollars in prototype Pokemon cards are now believed to be modern counterfeits. And they aren't the only cards that are under scrutiny, but that's just the start, as Pokemon Pocket has finally introduced a long-awaited feature bringing trading to the game, as well as a brand new set focused on the Sinnoh Pokemon that's sure to shake up the meta. And for those of you that actually play the physical TCG, yeah, don't worry, I don't forget about you guys. I know we exist. You're also going to be getting fresh card reveals, new accessories, and even a teaser at an upcoming expansion. Not sure what's up with the lights, well, we've got a lot to unpack, so strap in. Oh, and if you want to stay up to date with everything in the Pokemon TCG, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a beat, and don't forget to hit that like button either, as it helps the channel more than you might think. But let's kick things off with those shocking counterfeit cards and see what's up with that. So we are seeing millions of dollars in prototype Pokemon cards that might actually be forgeries, as a retired Creatures employee is involved. And am I just reading the heading off this? Yeah, PokeBeach does great articles. If you don't keep up with it, check out their site, or you just watch me and I'll read them to you. But basically the authenticity of Pokemon TCG's famous prototype cards, so those are the ones that were used in the actual building of the game when they were kind of doing playtesting, coming up with the concept and just saying like, hey, if we give this thing this much health and we make its attacks cost this much, how will they interact? So they used to just kind of draw them up as just rough sketches, as we're seeing here. We've got a Pikachu that's literally just like the OG pixel art from the actual trading card game, the Game Boy games. And then they did kind of transition over to some different ones. We've got like a CGI Seadra, which is actually kind of sick. Like I wouldn't mind that on a card. And then eventually transitioning over to the actual artwork they used for those games. So these are the ones in like the game manuals. This isn't what we actually got in the TCG, as those of you that know Charizard from base set, looks very different than that. Pretty cool though. Like honestly, art like that, I'd be very keen for. If they got like a Pokemon 151 set and brought it back to just the OG art styles like that, take my money. Genuinely, just take it. But yeah, what's happening with these cards is they actually got the people that were involved with the beta testing. They had them help with the authenticating and said, yeah, these are legit. These are actual cards. They looked them over, seemed good, but now a different forensic technique is being used where they're actually trying to identify the printers that were used to make these cards, and it's showing that they were done in 2024. So I think they're saying, what's it called? PFM? What is PFM? Oh, one of the buyers of the card, PFM. Used the forensic technique, and it looks for hidden watermarks in the card. So we're seeing from this, apparently they can tell from these little pixels that that's from January 2024. These are supposed to be from the 90s. That's a big jump. So yeah, a little bit of a kick in the shin if you did spend a lot of money on these cards. They went for tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars when they were sold. People thought they had pieces of history in their collection, and really they just have a piece of printer paper a guy did a year ago. Obviously done to quite a high degree. Like they would have put a lot of effort into making it so that they have passed as reals, but yeah, it's seeming like they might be fake. So if you're watching this and you dropped a bunch of money on some like OG looking Pikachu, $24,000 apparently, might want to get that checked out. A little bit silly, but these aren't even the only cards that there's a bit of scrutiny going on around, as the Illustrator Rare Pikachu Trophy card that's recently sold for millions is also apparently likely a forgery. It sold in December. Uncut sheets of the famous Pikachu Trophy card and Pikachu Illustrator card were offered for sale by a reputable seller, and at least one of the ones that's purchased has been, it's looking like it's not legit. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Pokemon, you're in a weird spot right now. We've had issues with scalpers running around, just buying up all the cards. Now we're having issues with, well, this isn't even a new issue. Apparently it's an issue from last year where someone just decided to print a bunch of fakes and sell them for a bunch of money. So if anything, the scalpers are the ones that are late to the party. Someone was doing a much better job. Making a lot more money. Not encouraging people to do this. I just genuinely think it's kind of funny. If you're dropping that kind of money on a card, what are you doing? Like, that's money you could be buying a house with. Shenanigans, absolute shenanigans. But getting into the actual cards, none of these counterfeits, Steven's Metagross EX and Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX have just had their decks revealed for Japan. So these are going to be more of the like trainer associated Pokemon that are releasing over in Japan, and then they'll likely come out in our next set, which should be, I believe, June-ish. because we're getting Journey Together in March. 3 months after that, I believe, is when the next set is typically expected to drop. Be like May or June. But yeah, Steven's Metagross looks pretty sweet, as well as the Grimmsnarl. We will scroll past the pre-evolutions because, well, they're nothing too special. But these guys are really cool. They're not gonna give us a oh, we got the picture of it at least. But yeah, Grimmsnarl, it was revealed at Worlds. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you can search your deck for 5 basic dark energy and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon in any way that you like. So great inbuilt energy acceleration. Steven saw that and was like, yeah, I like where your head's at. Metagross is kind of on the same path. A little bit weaker energy acceleration, but repeatable. So once during your turn, you can search your deck for a basic Psychic energy and a basic Steel energy and attach them to your Psychic or Steel Pokemon in any way that you like. So there's a lot of Steel Pokemon that have like 2 Steel and a colorless in their attack cost. Kuparaja EX is one that comes to mind. This Metagross needs a Steel and 2 colorless, so it's like, hey, get a Steel, get a Psychic, pays for that, and then just manually attach the 3rd energy. Kuparaja, manually attach that 2nd Steel. Metagross, just chuck anything on there and you can start attacking. The fact that it gets the energy out of your deck and helps with consistency is massive. We're seeing decks like Gardevoir where it's getting energy back from the discard pile. It's just, hey, get it. It's in there. You're good to go. This is getting it directly from your deck, so you don't even need ways to search it out like Earthern Vessel where it's, hey, find this from my deck, get it in my hand, get it in the discard. It's literally just find it from my deck, get it into play. That's big. That's very big. These aren't the only cards, obviously. We are getting the deck lists revealed for them. So Spike Myth Gym, once during each player's turn, that player may search their deck for a Marnie Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into their hand. It isn't limited to just basics, so it's a great way to get into your evolution pieces, which I'm liking how each of these trainers is getting a stadium to go with them, and it's really boosting up their Pokemon's abilities, right? Like Hop, extra damage, Barney, extra consistency. It's pretty solid. Are we getting one with Steven too? Steven's Carbink also being revealed. Stone Palace, as long as this is on the bench, each of your Steven's Pokemon in play take 30 less damage from attacks, so kind of leaning into the Steel type guys, right? They're bulky tanks, give them a little bit more tanking. And we do already have that Steel Stadium, Metal Lab, I want to say, that make your Steel Pokemon take 30 less damage, so this plus the Metagross plus the Stadium takes 60 less damage. Yeah, not bad. Granite Cave is going to be Steven's Stadium though, so let's see, Steven's Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks. So you don't even need Metal Lab, you just run this. This is just better. Ignore what I was saying, just run that one. And Energy Recycler is getting a reprint, which is going to let you shuffle 5 basic energy from your discard pile back into your deck. It's a card we've previously had, and seeing it get a reprint is massive. Thank you for joining the Goomba Gang Mini IRL. Cheers, man. And yeah, for those of you watching this on YouTube, I am recording it live on Twitch. And for those of you asking on Twitch, hey, I'm Legend. I didn't miss you, man. I see you there. But yeah, I am recording the weekly news roundup. I was like, try and just bring it all into one thing. Let's do it all together. I usually do this offline, and then it gets a little bit tight to tournament time. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're just going to do it while I'm live on Twitch and just seamlessly go into the tournament. The other thing getting revealed for the TCG is new accessories. So we're getting some sleeves. There's one with Pikachu. He's just looking adorable as he does. We're also getting one with Slowpoke, where it kind of looks like he's looking at his own reflection, but it's just a Galarian Slowpoke and a regular Slowpoke laying next to each other, which I like it. I can get behind that. We've got, is it Quaxley? One with bad hair, and then 3 with the good hair swimming away. So he's kind of the ugly duckling in that situation. A Alolan Vulpix and Hisuian Zorua, so like the 2 white foxes of the Pokemon games. I like it, actually. That's pretty slick, too. Is that the Palmot evolution line? And then there is a Sprigatito hanging out with them. I've always had it in my head that Palmot's like a type of mouse, so it feels a bit dangerous, but he's living on the edge. It's fine. Steven getting his own sleeves, as well as Marnie getting their own sleeves, and then all of those also being made as deck boxes. I like that. Honestly, the Steven one looks really slick. If I see that, I might pick it up. There's a couple of stores here that import stuff from Japan, so like I might grab that. For those of you that don't have a shop like that, though, you can always find these on eBay or go on websites like Mecca and they get them imported for you. It's also a playmat featuring that Zorua and Vulpix, and then some other ice Pokemon kind of hanging around. That's nice. I like it. And a Slowpoke Centipede. Well, that exists. Okay. Not... The other little bit of the actual TCG is that we're getting a bit of a hint at a set. So there is Black Bolt and White Flare that are going to be releasing in Japan, and they're going to be sets fully focused on the Unova Pokemon, so black and white. We are now finding out that there's going to be a special English set releasing July 18th. We saw Pokemon 151 last, I believe that also came out in July, where it was just kind of, here's a generation of Pokemon, they're all in one set, buy it, and it's kind of leaning, or seeming like they're going to lean towards that again, and just be like, here's Unova in a set, buy it. And yeah, I'm for it. I also kind of hope that this is a hint that maybe we're getting a black and white remake, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. For Pokemon Pocket, oh, actually, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. The other little bit of news for the Pokemon TCG is with Battle Partners recently releasing in Japan, we're getting a peek at kind of where prices are sitting. Most expensive card at the moment being Lily's Clefairy EX. It's a cute card. It has a girl on a card. They always seem to go for a lot of money. Is what it is. Going for 58,000 yen and then kind of scaling down from there. Iono in second and then Zoroark coming in at third. I don't know how yen converts over to Australian dollars or American dollars, but if you want to buy cards in Japan, that's kind of roughly where they're going to be at. The Clefairy card's going to be the most expensive. Same applies to Lily's Rabombi being the most expensive Illustrator rare. And then there is apparently an error version of N's Zoroark, where the gold one has the texture of the illustration rare. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but yeah, it's got like his face kind of lurking in the shadows, like a little glitch. It's spooky. I'm guessing they're going to fix that when it releases in English, but kind of hoping they don't, because it looks sick. I don't know, but what are your thoughts on these cards? Are you guys like big collectors? Are you going to go try and pick up these Japanese versions or wait for it to come out in English where it'll be a little bit more accessible to us? Or do you just want versions of the cards that you can just actually play? Because I just typically go for the base art, not too fussed on the money. It's kind of spinning the game in a weird spot, having all these scalpers, well, investors getting into the game. So yeah, don't take this as like, oh, I need to buy these, they're going to go up in value. Just if you actually want it for your collection, this is kind of roughly where they're sitting at in price. For Pokemon Pocket, though, we will round it out on this. I don't personally play the game, so if you have questions about the meta for it, don't ask me. There is other streamers that do an amazing job with it. Spraggles, I know, covers it quite a bit, and friend of the channel, Kilosaurus, plays it quite a bit on Twitch. So if you're after someone that just like has a really genuine personality and is into that game, yeah, check it out. But yeah, trading has been introduced to Pokemon Pocket. We did know that it was coming at some point, and now it's finally out. There is limitations to it, as you can only do the diamond rare, so diamond to 4 diamonds, and then star. So I'm taking that as commons to rare that you can trade over. There is some stipulations around it, as you need 1 time to do it. So every day you're gonna get 1, what do they call them? Trade stamina. Every 24 hours you get 1 trade stamina that you can use for trades. So it's kind of just like drip feeding you that. You can use hourglasses to reduce that, so that's the way that they can monetize it. But then you also need trade tokens to do the trade. So not just your time, you actually do need a currency as well to go through with that. So to do 3 diamond trades, it's going to be 124, is going to be 500, and star ones are going to be 400. 1 diamond, 2 diamond, I take it as they're free, and there is plans to introduce higher rarity cards available for trades at a later date, so expect those values to go up from there. To get these trade tokens out, you can just kind of like break down cards that you have duplicates of, and that's the values you'll get back for them. So triple diamond is 25 tokens, quadruple is 125, star is 100, double star is 300, triple star is also 300. That seems wrong. If that's true, I'm calling shenanigans. If that's a typo, okay, I feel like that should be 500. And then a crown is 1,500. I'm guessing that's illustration rares. Yeah, there's probably those of you watching this that are like, oh, this guy got no idea what he's talking about. Crown is something completely different. Feel free to correct me in the comments. I fully admit I don't follow Pocket all that closely. But yeah, Pocket also getting a Sinnoh set. I'll show you the art of the cards, as a lot of them are kind of just reprints from the actual TCG, which I like that. I like how they're getting like a second life for them. But in terms of playability, no idea. Genuinely no idea. We can take a look at them. Yan Mega EX 120 triple colorless, discard an energy from this Pokemon. Doesn't seem great. I don't think there's a lot of ways to quickly ramp out energy to grass Pokemon. I could be wrong. Torterra getting a card. 2 grass, double colorless, 150. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Frenzy Plant. Same thing, getting energy on that's probably going to be the trickiest part, and 150 doesn't even look like you're taking out another Torterra in a mirror. I know there is ways to kind of boost up damage in that game though, like Giovanni, so could be all right. And it's a single prizer, which prize trade is always a good thing to be mindful of. What else we got in here? Some stuff. Shaman. Once during your turn, you can heal, is that 30 damage? 50 damage? 10 damage. It could help you fix numbers. Yeah, Sinnoh is coming out in Pokemon Pocket. Let's look at the cards. Not going to comment on the cards. One, because I have to kick off a tournament in 10 minutes, and two, because I can't really talk to these cards that well. Actually, we'll check out the EXs though. Talk you to him. Triple water and a colorless, 150 damage. Discard 3 water energy from this Pokemon. This also does 20 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. I know there's a Misty supporter in Pocket that like flip coins, get water energy out, so this could be legit, especially because it's on a basic Pokemon, so you can quickly get it into play and potentially take a KO into your opponent while setting up follow-up knockouts. I don't hate that. And what would be the other legendaries in here? Are we getting a Darkrai and a Dialga? Oh, the Lake Shrew is in here. That's cool. Giratina is in here. Pokemon has, if this has no energy, or it has any energy attached to it, has no retreat cost. Don't mind the dyslexia, it's all good. Regirock, this takes 20 less damage from attacks. Could be cool. Delayed, getting an EX. Weavile getting an EX. You're doing 30 damage. If your opponent's active is damaged, they have 40 more. Like maybe combine that with Greninja, where it's like you can ping them with damage, and then this follows up and cleans them up. Okay, there's some legit stuff in here. Darkrai EX, whenever you attach dark energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, do 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's silly. I like that. His attack's kind of rubbish, but his ability's cool. That's cool. And what's Dialga though? Double steel, 30 damage. Take 2 steel energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Okay, so energy acceleration, getting this charged up. I guess if you go first, attach, pass, they go attach, charge up a backup attacker. I don't hate it. Garchomp. You must discard a card from your hand in order to use this. Once during your turn, you can draw a card. Okay, that's cool. So just thinning through your deck. Maybe we check out... They print Pokemon Communication. Choose a Pokemon in your hand, switch it with random Pokemon in your deck. That's not good. Rocky Helmet. Literally the same thing as the regular TCG. When you get hit, do 20 damage to the attacker. Cyrus. Switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it. So they are kind of sticking to like boss's orders, right? What have we got? Oh no, they have Sabrina. Sabrina's the other best effect. Giovanni is damage booster. Okay, that's weird. At least Cyrus is kind of boss's orders for them. During this turn, attacks used by Garchomp and or Togekiss do 50 more damage. In Galactic, put one random Glameow, Stunky, or Croagunk from your deck into your hand. Choose one of your Electivire or Luxray, attach 2 lightning energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon. I do kind of like how they have the trainers tying in with like their specific Pokemon. That's neat. Okay, maybe we check out Pocket. That set actually looks kind of legit. All right, guys. But yeah, sorry for rounding it out with Pocket, which I'm not overly familiar with, but I hope you did enjoy this weekly news recap. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing? You're still here and you haven't done it. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. And for those of you watching on Twitch, don't worry, we'll be kicking off the tournament in just a moment. And if you want to get involved in the tournaments and you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a link in the description. Come check it out. We play the budget build battle format where it's effectively just no rule boxes allowed. So that means EXs, Radiants, Vs, and Ace spec cards. None of that nonsense. We're focusing on just the single prize Pokemon. And there is a slight limitation as you can only have 2 copies of a card with the same name in your deck. So if you play Pocket, unlike Pocket in the actual TCG, slight exception though, as basic Pokemon, if they evolve up, you're allowed 1 extra count of the basic for each evolution that it evolves into. So if it evolves into a stage 1, you could run a 3-2 evolution line. If it evolves up into a stage 2, you can run a 4-2-2 evolution line, just to kind of help with consistency. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, stay golden, you Goombas.